But this race isn't going to be won or lost in the fall on money. This race is going to be won or lost on someone who can capture the imagination of the American people.
I came back, I spent 16 years on a grandiose project called creating a Republican majority in the House. 16 years. And most of the Republican leaders in the House thought it was a joke. Even the night before the election, they thought it was a joke. And we created the first majority. We then worked for 2 solid years, reformed welfare. 2 out of 3 people went back to work or went to school. We ultimately became the first re-elected Republican majority since 1928. We then went on to cut taxes for the first time in 16 years, the largest capital gains tax cut in American history. In the 4 years I was Speaker, the American people created 11 million new jobs. We balanced the budget for 4 consecutive years, the only time you elect them. You're right. I think grandiose thoughts. This is a grandiose country of big people doing big things, and we need leadership prepared to take on big projects. The 3rd of January, which is 17 days before I'm sworn in, I will ask the Congress to stay in session on the 3rd of January. I will ask them to repeal Obamacare, Dodd-Frank, the big banking bill that's killing small banks, killing small business, driving down the price of housing, and to repeal Sarbanes-Oxley. My request will be to have all 3 repeals ready so that on the day I'm sworn in, I can sign all 3 repeals that day. That's a real start. I will then, on the very first day, have an entire series of executive orders, all of which will be published by the 1st of October, so everybody will know it's coming. Executive order number 1, abolish all of the White House czars as of that moment. An executive order reinstating Ronald Reagan's Mexico City policy, no taxpayer funding for abortion overseas, period, none. And an executive order reinstating George W. Bush's conscience clause, no religious group, no doctor, no pharmacist, no nurse, no hospital could be forced to do something against their religion. Executive order number 4, the State Department will open the embassy in Jerusalem in recognition of Israel's legitimate right to name its own capital. So you go down a series of those things. As I said, we've added the Keystone Pipeline. We'll have a whole series of those things. My goal is not the first 30 days, Sean. My goal is at the end of the first day that I'm in office, we will have repealed about 40% of Obama's government.
But this race isn't going to be won or lost in the fall on money. This race is going to be won or lost on someone who can capture the imagination of the American people.
A big disgrace, waving your flag.